Hello, I am Booster Lane, and this is a scenario video focused on a cut enemy from Little Nightmares 2, the Lunch Lady. She only appears as a corpse in the game and is theorized to be either killed by the bullies or another child survivor similar to Mono and Six. With that, let's start the scenario. The scenario starts with Mono heading through the school, looking for Six, who was kidnapped by the bullies. He enters an air vent, but as he travels, he hears the sound of stirring and exits out the other end to find himself on a shelf in a kitchen, where he saw the back of the lunch lady pouring pepper into a pot before stirring it with a ladle. The lunch lady doesn't notice him, so Mono decides to move through the shelf and stealthily drops to another platform. The lunch lady turned around, so Mono quickly hid behind a bag of powder. While this happens, a bully climbs up on the cooking counter and tries to reach the pot. His attempts are thwarted when the lunch lady turns back around, spotting the bully, and with an angry shriek, swings a ladle at him. The bully was sent flying into a wall, cracking into pieces. Mono watches the violent act as the lunch lady resumes cooking as if nothing had happened. He manages to climb into an open shelf, but a bully surprises him and lunges at him. Mono quickly grabs a discarded ladle and slams it into the bully, causing the bully to fall over with a cracked head. The noise got the lunch lady's attention, and she turns to see Mono. With an angry shriek, she grabbed the nearest jar and threw it in Mono's direction. The size of the jar and the velocity of her aim would be fatal to Mono. Mono runs, passing another bully who was sneaking into a jar of cookies, and looks at Mono in confusion before she explodes into pieces as a big jar slams into her body. Mono runs to the air vent on the floor, but a box of fruit was slammed into it, preventing him from escaping. Mono looks up to see the angry lunch lady holding a ladle. Mono ducks as the lunch lady swung a ladle at him. She growls and swings again, chasing Mono as he runs around the kitchen. He climbs to the counter where the lunch lady was cooking. He slides under a swinging ladle, which accidentally knocks over the pot of food, causing the contents to fall over. Now the lunch lady was very angry. The meal she worked so hard on was now ruined. Mono runs and jumps out of the window that led from the kitchen to the cafeteria, which was filled with several waiting bullies. The bullies turn toward Mono in confusion before the lunch lady slams the door open. They saw how angry she was and scattered around as the lunch lady chases after Mono. The bullies who had the misfortune of being in her way were stepped on and swatted away with her ladle, carelessly killing them. He runs out of the cafeteria and into the hallway. The lunch lady is still on his tail. He had no way of shaking her until he noticed a set of raised planks. Mono realized they were the traps set by the bullies. Mono runs to them and steps on one of the planks. A huge locker drops in front of the lunch lady, causing her to trip and fall over, dropping her ladle in the process. On the floor, the lunch lady growled at Mono before attempting to grab him with her hands. Mono quickly triggered the second trap by stepping on another plank. A locker fell down, this time landing on the downed lunch lady's head. Mono watched the gruesome sight of her head being crushed. Then the bullies popped in giggling at someone being caught in their prank. But seeing that the victim of their violent prank was the lunch lady, their laughing ceased and they shrieked in fear. Some scrambled around, some fled the scene, some argued, which soon turned into a brawl. They completely ignore Mono as they panic. They did not know what to do. They did not intend to kill the lunch lady, and they are terrified of what the teacher would do to them. They eventually come to a decision. They gather around the lunch lady and struggle to drag her corpse, with the intent to hide her body in the freezer room. Mono watches them before finally deciding to head into the next room on his way to rescue Six. And that was the scenario of Mono encountering the lunch lady. Please leave a like and subscribe as I make more scenario videos.